Hey guys, how's it going? Jake here, and I wanted to make a video on my story with fighting games, and maybe I'll just go into like competitive games in general since I'm doing this on YouTube now. I was gonna make this just for fighting games on Twitter, but Twitter decided to cut off like 50% of my video, so I'm putting this on YouTube. So I'll just start with fighting games. So I really love fighting games. I started at a young age playing like Street Fighter, like original Mortal Kombat, like stuff like that, stuff that like every like kid that has a gaming system plays. And then as I got older, I started playing stuff like Soul Calibur, Tekken. I played a lot of Tekken when I was younger as well. Like it just like Tekken, Soul Calibur. Played a lot of Power Stone with some friends, and excuse me, never played much in the way of like Guilty Gear or like Marvel vs. Capcom, stuff like that. It was primarily just like growing up, it was like a lot of Mortal Kombat, a lot of Tekken. And I was never like great. I knew how to do stuff and I liked learning like all the characters' moves. I used to sit down in training mode for Tekken and try and perform every single move on every character's move list for every character. Was I good at remembering them? Nah, not really. But it was fun. So, let me just put my phone on mute quick. So, as I got older, I liked playing fighting games with my friends, as most people do, because playing fighting games by yourself is not a whole lot of fun when you're not playing competitively and practicing, as I've come to learn growing older. I became that friend that liked to know all the moves and liked to know what I was doing, and that has followed me forever in video games. I like to know how to play the game that I'm playing. I very much so enjoy experiencing the game like as it's meant to be experienced and not just pressing buttons and hoping for the best. So I became that friend, and I quickly became the friend that never lost. I had a small friend circle, and only a handful of them like to play fighting games, and I won a lot, like a lot, like all the time, like to the point where my friends said, "We're not playing fighting games with you anymore," because you almost never lose. Um, and it actually really sucked because then I had no one to play fighting games with, and this was like PS2 era and before, so there wasn't like oh there wasn't like online play there, so I couldn't just be like, okay, well, I can't play with my friends, so I'll go play some rollback melee with some people online and everything's Gucci. uh so I actually stopped playing fighting games for like 15 years. Like I don't know the exact amount of time, but it was a very very long time, 10 plus years, like for sure over 10 years. um Never really touched many fighting games. I would play like I would play melee every now and then, uh just but like it again just by myself, just being like, oh, let me see if I can wave dash. And yes, for the purposes of this video, and I also believe that it is, but the Smash Brothers games are fighting games. They are not traditional fighting games, but they are fighting games. Um, so I stopped playing for a long time, and in that term, I picked up playing other competitive games after a while. For a long time, I was pretty hardcore casual, played a lot of RPGs and stuff. Yeah. But when I wanted, like, pretty much when I got a PC, I started getting into competitive games. I started out with Dota 2. Was okay at that. I was never really great at it. I had a couple games where I went really really well. This was before ranked was ever a thing. Um, and after that, actually no, I think StarCraft 2 predates Dota. It's somewhere in there. But I played a lot of StarCraft 2 as well. Got really into that. Got okay. I made it to like plat, maybe. Uh, and that was in Heart of the Swarm. Then I went to Counter Strike, and I actually got pretty good at Counter Strike. Like not great, like not pro level play, but I did play in like some open tournaments. I played in one ESEA intermediate tournament. Um, and then unfortunately, and I was getting like up there. I'm 30 now, and I was in my mid 20s at the time, playing with a bunch of like 15-year-olds. That sadly, that's just like the nature of things, right? A lot of competitive games are dominated by younger players, and a lot of up and coming teams who are on like open or intermediate teams are younger players trying to make a name for themselves. So I just kind of fit in. But there's two reasons why this team fell apart, and we were actually a pretty decent team. I was the in-game leader, and I would off op, and I would also support. So when that happened, so the two reasons that this team fell apart: one, it was really hard for me to wrangle for teenagers to like practice, to like actually practice, and then it came to the point where it became a point where I didn't have time to practice. But I was still playing relatively well, right? And our team played very well. And like all the scrims we did, there wasn't really anyone who played poorly. And then things started to go a little bit downhill. There was one game where one of our players was being just an absolute piece of shit. Not like slurs or anything, but just fucking off. Like just running out and dying. And just being like, haha. So I said, do it again, and I'm leaving. Like, I'll just leave the game, and you guys can do 4v5. So he did it again, and I rolled out for like 8 rounds. And then the coach, who was a buddy of mine named Reaper, like he filled in while I was gone, but he's just like, dude, you got to come back. Just get back in here and finish it out. I said, is he being serious now? He's like, yes. It's like, all right, I'll come back. Then after that, the captain of the team decided that we weren't tryharding enough because we weren't spending 6 hours a day, like training aim or doing smokes when I couldn't even wrangle them to go over strats. So he ended up bouncing and dissolving the team. And it was super karma because the team he ended up joining went like 1-13 in their season. So I was just like, dude, we were on a winning team. Like, we won our first 2 games. So I ended up dipping out of Counter-Strike and actually going back to StarCraft 2. I actually got to Diamond 1, and this was in Legacy of the Void, current game. So I actually felt really good, but and this will come into play with fighting games here in a moment. I'm just kind of now giving my competitive game experience. So I fell into this thing where I started getting overly stressed just playing on ladder. Like it started to not be fun because like you want to win, right? But it's like I became so overly frustrated at every mistake. Like not to the point where I was like throwing shit. I have broken controllers. I'll get to that in a minute. But like I didn't break a keyboard or break a mouse or throw shit. But it got to the point where I was getting so stressed that I just had to stop. I couldn't handle it anymore, so I just stopped playing StarCraft. Every now and then I will play with a couple buddies of mine, and we'll just have some fun and play some games. But that's about as far as I go with that. And then Smash Ultimate came out. I had played a little bit of Smash 4. Never really took it too seriously. It wasn't my jam. It felt really slow. It wasn't a whole lot of fun. Playing with friends was fun, but trying to play it like seriously and learn it boggles my mind that people think that Smash 4 is a better game than Smash Ultimate. While Ultimate has its flaws, it is a vastly better game. So Ultimate came out, and I actually really like Ultimate in person. Online Ultimate sucks, but playing it in person with friends is a lot of fun. It's got a lot of characters that I like to play. I do think it has too many characters. I think it's a nice. I think it's nice that all the characters are there from all the old games, but it is too many characters, too many matchups to learn, um, and a lot of the DLC has been a miss for me. So, with only 3 characters so far that I've actually wanted to play, that being Joker, Pyramithra, and Kazuya looks fun. But after playing Ultimate for a while and being very frustrated with the online, and trying to get good with characters, and just get good at the game in general, the random disconnects and being banned from playing online for 30 minutes to an hour at a time every 5 games because connections suck, proved too much, and I broke a bunch of controllers over it. Then I got introduced to Melee. I knew about Melee. I'd watched a lot of Melee, but it was always one of those things where it's like I'd pick it up and be like, let me try and wave dash. Oh man, this is hard. I'm not good at this. But then my friend Joe, Joe the rapper, decided that he wanted to play Melee. Like play Melee online. Like he asked if someone wanted to play Melee with him, pretty much. And I was just like, I haven't played in forever and I never really knew what I was doing, but I'll play with you. I don't care. I'll get my ass kicked for a while. Now mind you, this is multiple years after not playing fighting games, and I had only played Ultimate for a little bit. So we played on NetPlay. This is pre-Slippy. So we played on NetPlay, on my old computer, which did not like Dolphin, did not like NetPlay, so it would lag spike a lot. We thought for a while it was his PC or his laptop, but I don't think it was. I think it was mine. But it was fun, a lot of fun. I ended up forestocking his Fox with my Roy. It was a grand old time for me. But I couldn't really get into it, because I didn't really have anyone to play with or any easy way to play it, right? Or an easy way to play with those people. I could literally just practice because NetPlay sucked. And then Slippy came out. And it was magic, man. Like, I still practice Melee. Melee's so much fun. Like, practicing Melee is some of the most fun I've ever had. So, I play a lot of Melee now, and it's a lot of fun. Slippy was a godsend in FGC when it needed a really, really good game with really, really good netcode. So Fizzy is the GOAT of all time when it comes to Melee. Yes, the GOAT of all time. You heard me. So from there, I actually wanted, I've been watching a lot of fighting game stuff in general. And then Strive came out. And I've never been a big Guilty Gear person. I've played one Guilty Gear game. I don't know which one it was, but I didn't like it because it didn't make sense to me. I was trying to do combos and I didn't understand it. I was like, why I'm pressing a bunch of different buttons together and I'm not comboing? I don't get this. I don't understand it. So I just said whatever. So I played it that one time. I didn't like it. And then Strive came out, and I've been watching content. And this is within like the past few weeks, right? So Strive came out, like released. And I've been watching Strive content, and it looked like so much fun. I was just like, man, I want to play more traditional fighters. And then I saw Soul Calibur 6 was on sale. So I was like, oh, I love Soul Calibur. I'll pick that up. I really liked playing it as a solo experience. Libra Souls sucked dick. And then Geralt, his fighting style, like his weapon is what I've been waiting for. It is like exactly what I want in a fighting style. And it was also kind of cool to know that he was not a shit character in the tier lists. So then it comes back to Strive. My same friend Joe, offered to get Strive for me, but I'm paying him back. He said he'd pick it up for me basically so I can have it before I got paid, because I was just like, man, I really want to pay it, but I can't afford to get it because I'm waiting for payday. And he's like, I'll get it for you, but you got to pay me back. And I'm like, dude, sick. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. It is fucking fantastic. It feels so good to play. Like the combos feel good. Now that I understand fighting games a lot better than I did when I was younger, it's like doing combos feels great. Just sitting there trying to learn stuff feels awesome. Like landing a combo string into a red RC and then continuing that string into a wall and just wall breaking. Oh, just and the music. Oh, it's fantastic. It's one of the best gaming experiences I've had in a long time as far as fighting games go. Like it rivals Melee to me, uh, and it's one of those things where, like I said, for StarCraft, um, that stress when it comes to actually like playing against other people that aren't my friends, it really affects me, and I don't know why. Um, I feel like everything that I've practiced and everything I've learned goes out the window, and I'm not sure how to change that and how to just focus and do what I know I need to do. But I just get so stressed out to the point where like my brain just doesn't function properly. I don't know why. It sucks. I want to try and get past that, but just sitting there so far and just learning combos and Strive is a lot of fun. I also want to try and play it on an arcade stick because I've never actually played fighters on an arcade stick before, and my thumb does not like certain commands, like doing Dragon Punch or half circle forward. My thumb just does not like to do that quickly. So maybe an arcade stick would be a better fit for me. I also like the idea of like having my fingers on multiple buttons instead of my thumb. So we'll see. But yeah, my competitive journey has been an interesting one. I've done a few things for money, never really won anything. Yeah, I love competitive games, but I don't know. I just can't get past the stress anymore, and I don't know what to do about it. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video on my competitive journey. I know the quality of the video sucks. Life has kept me from doing some stuff, and I essentially had to buy a new car, which required me to sell some things because I live paycheck to paycheck, and I had to sell my very nice camera. So it sucks. One day I will have another one, but that day is not today. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me ramble about fighting games and competitive games and what they meant to me, because I love competitive games. I really do. So I hope you all have a very, very fantastic day.